I'm busy doing my final preparation for the Ultra Trail Mont Blanc, which is a 167 kilometer race around the Mont Blanc mountain range. And yeah, I'm out here doing my final prep. So I've actually just run the route over 3 days, which was really beneficial to be able to see exactly what I'm going to be doing on race day or race days, and also get to run the last part of the route in tied legs because I did it over 3 days, and just try and really familiarize myself with the terrain, because this terrain here is really different to what I get back home in South Africa. The trails are fairly non-technical in parts compared to some of the Cape Town or the Drakensberg trails, so you can really run the downhills hard, and that really bashes up your quad muscles quite a bit. So yeah, I've been out here trying to prep for that, and I think for ultra running, the closer I get to building up to a race, the more specific training I do. So put in some really long hours this last week. I think I did about 25 or 26 hours of running, so it's one of my peak weeks. I did about 200 kilometers with just over 10,000 meters or I think 11,000 meters of vertical gain. So it was quite a big week, but I think it's really important to get really specific leading up to the race, and then kind of 2 weeks out from the race or 3 weeks out, I'll really start to taper and take it easy, because a race like this is so grueling and taxing on your body that you really need to go into it feeling fresh and strong and mentally fresh as well. Like at the moment, mentally a little bit tired, physically a little bit tired from some really big training weeks. So it's kind of from now onwards, start to kind of freshen up a bit and start focusing on the race. At last year's Ultra Trail Mont Blanc, I noticed that a lot of the top competitors were using poles. So this year I've actually tried out poles in my training, and noticed that because it's such a long race and there's so much ascent, it really takes about 30% of the load off your legs, and it just makes you that much more efficient. So I've been doing a lot of training with poles. I think I've lost a bit of street cred on Table Mountain, kind of running around there with hiking poles, but yeah, you got to do what you got to do to try and do the best you can at UTMB. Also been lucky to get some really good weather conditions, so it's been really spectacular out here, and I've had a really good time. Yeah, running on the Mont Blanc mountain is pretty incredible. The scenery is just like nothing I've ever seen before. Just the kind of alpine and the glaciers, and just the variety of terrain, and kind of being able to run in and amongst some chamois, and it's just been really spectacular. And I think that in itself is kind of given me a lot of motivation and excitement to get out there on race day. I try and do a lot of mobility exercises, rolling my legs out, just making sure that my ankle mobility is good, and my hip mobility is good, because my hips seem to get really tight and locked up. So I spend a lot of time and focus on that. A lot of people think it's kind of not worthwhile, but for me it's really important to make sure my whole wheel alignment, everything is working correctly, just so I feel good and I'm running as efficient as possible when I'm doing my training, and also that I avoid any niggles or injuries going into the race. Because I'm doing such high mileage at the moment, it's really key to just make sure everything's moving well and everything's feeling good. Yeah, I think my main motivation for being here is just to kind of start in Chamonix and make it around the mountain and get back to Chamonix again.